you how to create a good starting position. One reason for having a not reliable robot in your rounds, it might be because your starting position isn't constant. So now we're going to show you how to create a good constant starting position. However, the best starting position is not having one at all. The best case is where you just put your robot against the wall and have your robot follow the wall and detect some sort of line or bump against some sort of mission. That'll eliminate any sort of variable starting from the beginning. However, in many cases that isn't possible. So the next best case is having a good, accurate starting position by using the walls and the markings on the mat. One very important thing to note is that the rules say that the south part of the mat, the south side, has to touch and line up exactly with the south wall. There could be a gap and most likely will be on the west side, so you might not want to push your robot against this. So the first step is you want to push your robot against the south side of the mat. Then, to determine side to side, figure out a good starting position and use the markings on the mat, such as these words and logos, or if you notice, there are tiny tick marks on the border of the mat that you can use. One very popular choice for starting positions, but not necessarily the best, is using some sort of jig. Now a jig is an attachment which you build, and what happens is during the round, you just push it against the wall and push your robot against the jig. This allows you to have a starting position that can be pretty much whatever you want. You just need to build a jig to accommodate for that. However, a jig isn't always entirely accurate, as if you're having some sort of weird angles, that usually is a sign that your robot's dependent on your starting position, and you never really want to have that. Another downside of using a jig is that if this side, if it's bumping against the wall, there could be a gap, and that will cause some error in your robot. But most likely, a jig will be pretty good for starting out teams and creating those much needed angles in your starting position.
That's all for the video. Thanks for watching.